It's here. The Galaxy S25 Ultra is in my hands, and I've got 10 amazingly hidden camera upgrades that you need to know. Now let's go. The S25 Ultra has landed, and with it brings a slew of new camera upgrades. I've dug up 10 amazing ones that you definitely need to know before you hit that pre-order button. Now, I've got other videos on the channel live with the S25 Ultra, so go check them out after this one. This one is going to be primarily focused on these camera upgrades. Number one, finally, you can record in log on your S25 Ultra. Samsung are putting an emphasis on video with the S25 Ultra, starting with log video recording. Before we talk about why log is important, I want to show you how to activate it and what it does, some of the features Samsung have put in there, and then I'll get my friend Samuel Nam to help me describe why log is good. Starting with how to turn it on. Log will sit inside the advanced video settings. Now there's a trick to it. I guess not really a trick. You need to have high efficiency video codec activated. You can't have it with the most compatible setting. It needs to be the HEVC. Basically, because log uses a lot of space, this high efficiency video codec will help save a lot of space, but not sacrifice any quality. It's neither here nor there at the end result. It's just how it has to be if you want to use log. Once you've got that turned on, you can either toggle it on here in the advanced video settings, or you can toggle it on in the camera mode itself. Now, if you want to see it in both Pro Video and normal video mode, again, that's a setting that you have to activate in advanced video options. Once you have it activated for both, you will see the little log icon in the top right corner of both video and Pro Video modes. When you do toggle it on, you'll notice immediately that your video might look washed out. That's exactly what log is meant to be. It records in a higher sort of format, but then preserves everything in that back end. So then when you need to, you can go and color grade. Now you can see the difference with normal video recording and then log video recording in these two sort of outputs. But then Samsung cleverly have put in their gallery an automatic color correction toggle. So when you swipe up on a log recorded video, you'll see correct color. You press that and then it does the processing and corrects the color for you. Oh, and it records 8K log too. So not only do you have that, you've also got the detail to go along with it. Now I caught up with Samuel to just let me know exactly why this is important, especially for creators.
Yo, what's
Yeah,
up?
man,
Whoa,
sorry,
where'd you come from?
Home, straight here.
Jeez, bro,
Yeah.
I thought you lived in Gold Coast, mate.
I do.
All right.
That's
Thanks
just how
thanks for
quickly things
thanks
are.
for coming over. I had everything set up. I thought you'd be coming over.
Oh, look at that. My phone, my phones are even here. How good's that?
You forgot to take your
Hey,
phone
I
out of the
forgot to
frame.
take my phone. It's right here. Oh,
All
well.
right, cool.
All right. So I'm here with Samuel, as stipulated. What makes log good?
Oh, it's just better.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Log shooting is something that filmmakers have been using for ages.
Okay.
One of the benefits and one of the reasons why you shoot log, it's very different to raw, by the way. So
Okay.
log footage is a very flat profile where you shoot it and then you fix everything in post. So you can add in the colors, you can add in all that stuff in post. Now, log retains the highest dynamic range.
Right.
So if you shoot in normal color mode, Rec 709, you will get, say, 8, they call it 8 stops. 8 stops of
Okay.
dynamic range. Okay? So
Okay.
like the darkest points and the highest.
Right.
Now, if you use that same camera and shoot in log, for example, on your Sony camera,
Yeah.
it'll go from 8 to like 13.
Oh, okay.
So you can see more highlights, you can see more shadows, and that's why we shoot log. The cool thing is, suddenly phones are now shooting log.
And I just never understood it nor cared. I was like, why would I do that when the phone can do the work for me?
For me, log shooting on the phone's actually a bigger deal than on cinema cameras. Like cinema cameras, it's standard. Like they've all got
okay.
them. But for phones, the reason why it's a big deal is when you see phone footage, like video footage, you know it's a phone. It
Yeah,
looks like a
okay.
phone shot. Not just the depth of field, but there's this over sharpening. There's tone mapping that's going on. So the phone is shooting multiple layers and is putting it all together so that it's good for sharing. It's good
Okay.
for just like
Quick social media.
Right. Grandma, grandma doesn't want to look at log footage. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Grandma wants to see like that. And that's what all phones do because it's not made for professional. It's not made for YouTubers. It's made for that purpose. Now, what log does is it gets rid of all that over sharpening. It gets rid of all that tone mapping. It gets rid of all that processing. So it looks when you actually shoot in Rec 709 on your phone and then shoot it in log and you compare it, it's really sharpened. It's not the same. So I'm surprised that Samsung actually put the log
model?
shooting in the base
Yeah.
models.
Well, I'm going to make this point in another video, but last year, the Exynos and Snapdragon split meant that the camera features weren't even.
Yep.
So now you've got the 8 for Galaxy, you can bring and have parity across the phones. They're still not with the camera hardware, but that's neither here nor there. But thank you for real this time, Samuel, not the fake thank you from before, because we just cut to a shortened version of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll go home now, man.
All right, see you,
I
bro.
won't forget my phone
Oh,
this
yeah.
time.
You can leave your Fold SE if you want.
Nah. Thank you, Samuel. The next thing you'll see, and it's number 2, is there is a HDR toggle next to the log toggle. Now, I should highlight this was present on previous Samsung phones, the S25 Ultra. However, with oneui 6, there was no toggle inside the camera app, and it was just HDR10+. Samsung have simply rebranded it to just HDR, and the toggle makes its appearance in the top right corner. Now, I've never really been one to shoot with this HDR toggle on. I always thought it might have distorted the video and I trusted the phone's processing. But after using it on the S25 Ultra, wow, it's a big difference. It lifts the video up and you can see the difference between HDR turned off and a HDR turned on. There is a vast difference in, I guess, the brightness and the range that the video has got. Non-HDR just keeps it a little bit duller, whereas with HDR turned on, absolutely has a bit more life about it. Again, this HDR toggle only exists with the high efficiency video codec. So you need to make sure that's on for HDR to work. Otherwise, both the log and HDR toggles will disappear, as will the high bitrate video toggle. Also, that disappears. HDR does not work with 8K though, so something you should know. Third one, well, this is not really a secret, but it is amazing. The new 50 megapixel ultra-wide camera here on the back. Samsung have made vast improvements, not just to the resolution, but to the camera itself. Not only has it got that 50 megapixel, but it's also now an f1.9 aperture. And that f1.9 aperture is going to give much better low light photos, and you can already see the difference in reduced noise. I've got an S24 Ultra to S25 Ultra comparison video up on the channel now as well. And in there, I talk about the camera comparison output differences, and it's worth checking out because it is vast, especially the noise reduction, both in photos and video. But this 50 megapixel isn't just all about low light and aperture. It's also about not only the high resolution, because you can do 50 megapixel macro shots, which is insanely good, but alongside that, and this is the next advancement, is you can do 8K from the 50 megapixel. So you now have 3 8K options. You have 8K from the ultra wide, you have 8K from the 1x, and 8K from the 5x camera. And it's available in both pro video mode and also normal video mode. So you've got ultimate flexibility there for recording video at different focal lengths and different resolutions. Number 5 is to do with single take. Just when I thought Samsung couldn't make single take any better, they go ahead and make it better. In the past, single take operated on a way of, if you start recording, you can hit a little +5 button to extend it another 5 seconds. It was an option. Now you have a little toggle in single take called pre-recording. Whenever you launch into single take and this toggle is turned on, it will automatically start recording 5 seconds before you hit the shutter button. So just in case you maybe have missed the moment or you weren't ready to record, it's captured 5 seconds anyway of something that you maybe have missed if you were waiting for something to get into place. And then once you hit the shutter button, it goes for another 15 seconds with no option to extend after that. But inside of single take, once you've captured or started the capture process, you will now see a capture button. So rather than just letting single take decide for you, you can manually press the shutter button and it'll capture that frame whilst it's capturing the rest of the content. It then adds it into the single take album and you've got yourself a more complete picture with the AI generated frames. I wouldn't say AI generated. I mean the stuff that the AI thinks is good, and then your own stuff that you've captured using your own eye. Love that as an option. And I think that's such a good combination to have you plus the AI choosing the best moments for the single take album. The next one, number 6, is to do with motion photo. Now we've kind of already seen a little bit of this in oneui 7's beta with the S24 Ultra, but I think Samsung have extended past this as well. First one is when you capture a motion photo, you'll be able to hit the little drop down button on the photo itself and choose a boomerang or a slow-mo or just the original clip, and you'll be able to turn that into another sort of video or clip that you want. Neat, a little bit of fun, and you can also turn it off from here as well, which for some photos is a really good option. But the one I really like that's been additioned to motion photo is best face. So best face basically works as described, is when you're capturing a photo with motion photo turned on, as it's pre-recording the footage, it will extract the best faces from the subject of the photo. So take my son here, for example. This final photo of him is with his eyes closed. Really annoying because, I mean, that's just what kids do. But with best face, swipe up, choose the other faces that it's picked out for you, or scrub through the motion photo and pick one for yourself. And then it will smartly overlay it and looks really good. It can work for if there's a bunch of people in the photo as well. It's not just one person. It's got the ability to do multiple. Obviously, we've seen this before, but the fact is that you pair that with everything else the Samsung camera can do, and you've got a very complete package. Number 7 is to do with Expert RAW. Expert RAW is obviously Samsung's computational RAW photograph app, which has a lot of power and a lot of features to it. Samsung are always expanding it. With the S25 Ultra, Samsung are giving you the option to do 200 megapixel Expert RAW photos, which is just insane when you think about it. Last year, they opened it up with 50 and then obviously 24 megapixel as well. But now you have the option for the main camera to unlock the 200 megapixel RAW shot. I'm looking forward to testing that one out in a little bit more detail as I use the phone a lot more. But that's not the only Expert RAW update that we got. Samsung have added in a labs feature called virtual aperture. Now, we obviously know how aperture works. It's a physical sort of closing and opening in front of the camera lens to allow more light or more sort of depth of field to sort of pass in and pass through it. Virtual aperture, I guess its aim is to recreate that shallow depth of field or that wider depth of field that you've got going on with a physical aperture. So again, you just got a little slider here and you got f1.4 up to f16, and you can go any sort of anywhere in between with the f-stop. And the difference will just be based on what's in front of you, and then it'll create an artificially that virtual aperture effect. Number 9 is audio eraser. This is quite a magical feature, I must say, because it works on device. This is not going to be reliant on cloud processing. It works on the phone. And it's super quick and super powerful. I've done a couple examples here. The first one is just a very simple removal of wind noise from my son playing with the sound machine that my cousins brought up to Queensland. A little bit of fun, and you can just sort of remove the noise in the background. I then wanted to try it at like a big loud crowd event, and there was some fireworks happening. So again, I removed sort of the crowd noise and did a decent job, but with loud fireworks, it struggled a little bit. But perhaps the best example is when I was recording in the lounge room and there was some background music playing. Just the ability for it to completely remove the background noise, the music, and the voice of the song track means that that can truly be used for myself. If I'm recording in there and there's copyright music, I can just remove it. And I still have the footage if there was sound in it. Like, it's very, very good. Take a look. I also wanted to try it just with myself talking. So I took it outside and had a bit of a play around with it and reduced the noise, background noise, and also my voice. Take a look again. What if we've got like talking going on? So there's a loud sort of humming noise from the air conditioner going on. There's some traffic noise going on outside, and probably a general breeze that you can hear. So let's just turn all that down now, and let's see if you can see the difference between the two and between me talking. And now I'll also just turn off the voice and see if the voice control. People will have a lot of fun with this one. I reckon that'll be the feature a lot of people use, whether that be outdoors at parties, whether that be inside. They will 100% use this. There is meant to be also an auto clipping feature with video where it can remove dead parts of the video, like beginning and end. Looking forward to seeing that. Not quite available yet, but I believe we were told about it, so I'm looking forward to seeing it. And the last one, it's a very small one, but welcomed all the same, is a more controlled zoom slider in videos. Samsung have always had this in pro video mode. It's like a cinematic zoom pan slider where it can just slowly creep the zoom up in a very smooth way. They've now brought that to video mode, and it's a toggle. When you hit the toggle in the video, it replaces the numbers of zoom with this slider. So you can have either or. You can't have both, you just have one or the other. But I really like the idea of it because it creates that nice cinematic zoom effect, which I think for the right type of content really suits it. The other way, you're just either zooming sharply between 1 and 5 and just sort of goes in and out very, very quickly. Whereas this is a really neat way of just slowly creeping the zoom in or out in a very cinematic way. They are my 10 camera features that the S25 Ultra is bringing out to the market. Now, with all of these new camera features, you might want to travel somewhere to be able to use them. During the pre-order phase of the Galaxy S25 launch, Samsung are running a competition for you to win one of 4 $25,000 travel vouchers. All you need to do is comment on one or all of Samsung's social media posts across their various platforms with hashtag GalaxyAI. Also tag a friend and follow Samsung AU at the same time. Or if you simply pre-order the Galaxy S25, you'll get automatically 25 entries into the competition. See the link in the description below for more details and make sure you use that to enter. Let me know which one your favorite one is. Let me know what content you're looking forward to about the S25 Ultra in the weeks to come. Hit subscribe to take what benefits, and I'll see you guys in the next one. You!